Rider Japan welcome, washing the bike the other day, and I found this. This is welder's broken on that. So the only thing holding my exhaust system on is the bolts going into the engine. It's flexing quite a bit. It may have been like that for a long time, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna get that fixed. So I'm gonna take all these off. It's an opportunity to do a bit of extra work. I'm gonna paint those, and then I've got some exhaust wrap to do the downpipes, so I can repair it and sexy it all up again a little bit. Okay, so took these off my bike this morning. There's that piece that broke off, look, just vibrations and whatever, just fatigued and doesn't look like it's properly welded on at all. Anyway, so yeah, not strong enough. Didn't do its job very well. Anyway, so I took those off my bike. For the shaken, which is like the equivalent of the English MOT every 2 years out here in Japan, like the vehicle inspection, I had to buy, to get my FJ through the first time, I had to buy like standard silencers on there because I had like these MGO brand drag pipes on there. There's no way it's going to pass. So I bought those, got it through the shaken test, and then that exhaust, those silencers cans came with these. Looking at them, they're much better quality than what was on my bike. My bike's probably, well, I haven't had a speedo on there for years. I think it's probably done like between 60 and 70,000 miles. These apparently came from a bike that only done 15,000 kilometers, so a lot less wear and tear. So I'm gonna change to these, better condition. I've also got a set of these. These came with the exhaust as well, much better condition. So I'll scrub those up, repaint them, and yeah, I'll just be chucking these in the bin. Yeah, and then while this is all apart, I'm gonna wrap the downpipes. Only the downpipes. I do like that wrap stuff, but in short doses, in small doses. I don't want the whole thing done. I think it looks silly when you go over the top. Maybe in motorsport, and you actually need it to contain the heat in tight areas around turbos and stuff. Yeah, I get it, but this is really, for me, just aesthetics on my road bike, so I'm just gonna do the downpipes. I hope I can reuse those. Can I might just buy some new ones. Turn that off. Just found these on AliExpress. Looked on Amazon first because I thought I can buy them and like get them literally like tomorrow or the next day. They're so expensive on Amazon, so I went to AliExpress. Really, really cheap. I knew they were a rip-off on there, so I think this is what I want. 35... Hang on, what's the depth? 30? Yeah, it's got to be about right. Overall, we're looking 40, 41, 42. I hope that's all right. And then the important one, the internal. Yeah, 35. This one. Okay, cool. Okay, so wrapping my downpipes. This is not a how-to video, I'm just documenting me doing things on the bike. So that's the top of the pipe, yeah. I've done this job once before, about 5-6 years ago. A few things I learned from experience doing it. If you start from the top, you won't be tempted, you might just naturally want to start from the top of the pipe. If you do that, it goes around there, and then goes around there, and then goes around there. Can you see there's a little step facing upwards? That, if you do it that way, it makes it look upside down, the way it's wrapped down the pipe, the way it's wrapped going down the pipe. And then also that little step, I imagine, is a little space for like a little shelf for dirt. It's going to look dirty, it's going to look grubby quicker if you don't keep your bike super clean all the time. So yeah, start from the bottom of the pipe. I think it's going to look better wrapped and also more practical, less likely to collect dirt. Something else I learned was the end, fold it over like that, and then that way you can go right up to the edge of the pipe and start wrapping it around, so there's not like a corner sticking over. What else? Oh yeah, it was quite itchy. I did it wearing a t-shirt last time and my arms were itching because it's just little fibres, little bits of glassy, it's like a fiberglass kind of wrap. It's yeah, bits come off it, quite itchy. So be careful of the dust coming off that. And this time I'm literally going to put these like gay washing up pinky purple rubber marigold rubber gloves on, so it might protect me a little bit from getting too itchy. Anyway, let's get into it. So there you go, nice bit of progress on my first pipe. That end I'm going to tidy up. I can pull that a bit tighter and neaten that up. I wrapped it round, I didn't care too much about the spacing of them because you can control that quite easily, the distance between the wraps. I actually think it benefits the look a little bit if you just leave it a bit kind of organic, a bit naturally. If you're doing too perfect, it's, I don't know, it just looks more authentic motorsport if you just quickly wrap it around. Anyway, just trying to sort this end out now. I'm trying to figure out the best way to hold that tight. Okay, so spent like 20-25 minutes doing that. Just did the main like section of them. I left the ends. I'm going to give those a bit more care and attention individually, and then I'll finish them off with proper metal ends. If you're interested, I bought 2 rolls. Didn't need anywhere near that much. Still got all that left from 1 roll, so plenty. Could have done 5, maybe even 6 with that. Yeah, maybe 5. So yeah, loads spare. Give you an idea on how much you get for 1 roll. Yeah, that's it. I didn't give them too much attention wrapping them up. I kind of like the fact they're a little bit wrong. I think I just prefer the look of that rather than being too perfect and robot made. Yeah, this stuff is nasty. It is literally like fiberglass, and I don't know if you can see on the screen, my floor is like sparkling. Horrible stuff. Be careful, don't breathe it in, and yeah, it's going to be itchy if you get it on your clothes. Like those gloves worked really well, but my legs are itchy just from sitting on a chair, had it on my lap. It's just that bits go everywhere, so yeah, it's horrible. Anyway, cool. Yeah, I'll do the ends and then show you. Look what just turned up in the post. Got my little graphite ring things. Good thing about living in Japan is when I order cheap shit from China, it turns up really quick. I haven't got to travel that far. It would have been about 6 weeks in England, 5 days here. So I was just trial fitting my bits. That goes on there, look. So no problem there. Only thing is these. This is what I could buy. This is the closest I could get to go in there. It doesn't quite go in. That is just over 40, and that's like 42 and a half. Grind off the surface all the way around. Anyway, I'll bodge it, get it in there, and then this is done. So yeah, I think we're ready to put back on the bike. Got these wrapped, wire brushed these collar things. They repainted them. They came up quite nice. Cleaned up the cans, and then these inner graphite collar things, whatever they are. They fit over this end really well, but they were too big to go in there. Luckily, those 2 just stayed in there when I took the pipes out, so I just leave them. And then these ones, what I did is I got a stick and then I glued some really coarse sandpaper around the outside. It's like 60 grit or something. So yeah, and then I just buffed around the outside. A lot of dust, a lot of mess, but yeah, it worked quite well. Just made them thinner basically, and they slotted in there, and then tapped them down. Cool, right, so I'm going to put this together and then stick it back on the bike. Okay, so this has been finished for a few days. Yeah, I like the way it looks. I mean, not going to change the performance or anything. One thing I had forgotten and then was reminded after doing this, they're a bit smoky. It's like there's sort of moisture in there or something, like some sort of grease in the fibres. It burns off as the bike gets hot. So literally did like 50-60 kilometers before it stopped being smoky. And I stopped at red lights and stuff. It would just be like a bit fumy coming off the bike. It does actually smell quite nice. You can sort of rest assured that it's not like a problem on your bike. It's not leaking out here or anything. I was double checking that because obviously I'd take them off and put them back on again, make sure everything's all fitted correctly. No, they are just a bit smoky while your first few heat cycles on the bike. One thing perhaps that has changed on the bike I just thought of. When I'm sat on the bike, it's Japan, yeah, it's just summertime, it's really hot, so I only ever go out on this like first thing in the morning when it's already still hot, but as for like 35 degree afternoon sunshine, I won't go out on it. It's too uncomfortable and I don't really feel good about the bike being air cooled, stuck in traffic and that kind of heat. Anyway, yeah, one thing I do think changed, obviously my bum's there, sat on it, my leg's there. This feels so much hotter than before I did this. I might be imagining this, I think the pipes, the downpipes before could like dissipate heat a little bit, but now I'm like trapping all the heat in there. it's like it's transferring elsewhere in the bike, and that's the whole frame is getting hotter, and I really notice it, and the tank. I really feel like my legs are much hotter touching that side of the bike. So let me know what you think. I don't know, I might be imagining it. It's difficult to tell 100% because it's just so hot at the moment. But I feel like the bike feels even hotter since I've changed those. And I'm imagining it's to do with the heat dissipation. The heat's coming out elsewhere and other metal parts on the bike. So anyway, there you go, that's it. The FJ now has wrapped downpipes.